So y'all been seeing all this shit about some like weird object thing that's like coming to our, is it our solar system or our galaxy? I think it's our galaxy. It's like a giant, some sort of giant mass. Or is it moving through our solar system? Yo, that means it's close as fuck.
It began as a whisper.
Let's let it buck.
An image that was never meant to be seen. An anomaly buried deep in the raw data of the James Webb Space Telescope. At first, only a handful of astronomers noticed the glitch in the spectrographic data. A pattern too precise, too rhythmic, too artificial. It wasn't a cosmic dust flare. It wasn't a dying star. And it definitely wasn't a comet. It was something else, something cold, calculated, and terrifying. The object in question? 3I Atlas, an interstellar visitor already known for defying the rules of physics. But this new leak, captured during a classified James Webb observation,
that baby dwarf,
would change everything we thought we knew. If what the data suggests is true, then 3I Atlas isn't just another mysterious traveler from deep space. It may be watching us. And now, for the first time, the truth is leaking out. When 3I Atlas was first spotted, astronomers assumed it was another interstellar comet. After all, we had seen this before with Oumuamua and Borisov, strange objects from other star systems swinging past our sun and vanishing into the void. But 3I Atlas immediately set itself apart. It wasn't just its trajectory or its velocity that raised eyebrows, it was how it behaved. Unlike typical comets, which develop a visible coma of water vapor and dust when they approach the sun, 3E Atlas stubbornly refused to follow the script. No coma, no tail, no water. Instead, it emitted only carbon dioxide, and in large quantities, while remaining eerily silent in all other spectrographic readings. NASA pointed the powerful infrared spectrometer aboard the Spherex Observatory at the object, expecting to find confirmation of water or carbon monoxide, two gases almost always present in comets. But the result? Nothing. Just carbon dioxide. No water, no carbon monoxide. A chemical profile never before recorded in the history of space observation.
Yo.
What kind of object emits CO2 exclusively? The answer was unsettling. None that we know of. Not even the strangest comets in our solar system match this behavior. And if it wasn't
so it's an
acting
alien
like a comet,
spacecraft.
and it wasn't an asteroid,
we're all gonna die.
then what was it?
Oh man, we're cooked. Oh
As public
no.
interest grew, NASA remained unusually silent. But behind closed doors, a more powerful telescope had already been pointed at 3I Atlas. The James Webb Space Telescope, known for its unprecedented resolution and
Fuck, I love
spectrographic
space, man. It's so
detail,
cool.
was secretly tasked with observing the object on August 6th, 2025.
I just like looking at that.
No images were
Like,
released.
bro.
No press conference followed.
That photo right there, bro. Like what you're looking at is just, oh my God. Stars and planets around every single one of those stars. Pretty sure this is like a fucking supernova or some sort of like. Oh, this is so cool, bro. I fucking love space.
No images were released. No press conference followed. Just silence. But now, a leaked report from an internal NASA analyst reveals what Webb might have captured. An object with no natural coma, but surrounded by a perfectly symmetrical CO2 halo extending hundreds of thousands of kilometers into space. Even stranger, the infrared signature revealed an unusual brightness originating not from sunlight reflection, but from within the object itself. Was 3I Atlas emitting artificial light? According to the leaked spectrographic breakdown, the emissions bore similarities to engineered photonic systems, meaning light patterns used in telecommunications or data transmission. The wavelengths weren't random. They were repeating, structured, like a cosmic Morse code. And if that weren't enough, the object was also measured to be 46 kilometers in diameter, far larger than any other known interstellar object,
fucking big.
and too large, statistically, to simply appear randomly. For a rock of that size to enter our solar system from interstellar space would mean one of two things. Either our understanding of the universe is wildly flawed, or this object was sent here on purpose. Perhaps the most terrifying revelation wasn't about the object's size, or its chemistry, or its emissions. It was the path it took. 3I Atlas didn't enter the solar system on some chaotic slingshot course like Oumuamua. It came in perfect alignment with the orbital plane of the planets, a trajectory with only a 1 in 500 chance of occurring naturally. In other words, it flew in like a drone following a flight plan. It passed near multiple planets, including Earth, before heading deeper into the solar system. Avi Loeb, the controversial Harvard astrophysicist who made headlines with his theories about Oumuamua,
So wait,
called the trajectory...
when did it pass Earth? Because I remember this. Like it happened in the summer or something. Here, let's just go like this quickly. Just 3 interstellar objects have been detected in our solar system, each arriving from the depths of interstellar space. In this episode, we explore the latest discovered interstellar comet, first spotted on July 1st. Huh. Discovered by an Atlas survey telescope in Chile. It originated from interstellar space and has since been observed in telescopes by like Hubble. So it makes its way toward the sun, at which point it will continue its journey. Huh. Oh, this is NASA's website. When comet was 277 million miles from Earth on July 25th, or 21st, my bad. Teardrop shaped cocoon of dust. Yep. More accurately estimate the size of the comet's nucleus. The upper limit as be small to the... Huh. Was really fucked. What caught my attention is the fact that it is emitting its own light. Is that what he said? And it's only giving off carbon dioxide? Is that what he said? Like,
technologically
what the
suggestive.
fuck?
He noted that the object's approach angle was not only precise, but designed to optimize observations from Earth-based and orbital telescopes, almost as if it wanted to be seen, but not fully understood. And remember, this object's origin point traces back to the Sagittarius constellation, the same region of space where the infamous WOW signal was detected in 1977. That signal, to this day, remains one of the most credible pieces of evidence for an artificial transmission from deep space. Space where the...
Look at that, man. What's crazy is, like, half of these, like, bright stars, like, the space is so big that some of these aren't even fucking there anymore, man. Like, half of these are probably fucking gone. And, like, this right here is in front of all of the... Like, it's just... Bro, like, what the fuck is even happening on the screen?
Was detected
oh
in
my god.
1977. That signal, to this day, remains one of the most credible pieces of evidence for an artificial transmission from deep space. Now ask yourself, what are the odds that the most enigmatic object ever observed in our solar system comes from the exact same region? As speculation mounted, a new theory began to emerge. One not grounded in science fiction, but in engineering feasibility. What if 3I Atlas wasn't a comet or asteroid at all, but a technologically augmented object? Imagine this, a massive asteroid from a distant star system, hollowed out and retrofitted with internal machinery,
this is what
sensors,
I was thinking!
or even an artificial
oh my god!
Encased in dense rock to protect
this is what I was gonna say, but I didn't want... I wanted to get in a little bit more into the video.
Hollowed out and
Yo! This is exactly what I was thinking. If they took a fucking, like... And it's weird, it's like a cigarette shape. So, like, for it to go through space like that, it would be pretty fast. Like, aerodynamically wise, I mean, it doesn't matter, it's fucking space. It's no fucking gravity or anything, but...
Asteroid from a distant star system, hollowed out and
Like-
retrofitted with internal machinery,
Bro, that's
or even an
crazy.
artificial habitat. Encased in dense rock to protect against cosmic radiation, with a thin outer layer designed to supplement...
That would make sense why it's only giving off carbon dioxide and it's emitting its own light source, because they have to have windows or something. They can't, or like, just, I bet you if they had sensors or something, they can't, it's not gonna be able to get through that. They need to be able to fucking...
CO2 to mask its internal structure. It would appear natural to distant observers, unless someone looked closer. This concept isn't new. In fact, it's been proposed by scientists here on Earth as a method for interstellar travel. Asteroid ships that use existing rocky bodies as natural shielding for long-duration space missions. Such an object could travel for thousands of years across space, powered by dormant engines or advanced propulsion systems hidden beneath a kilometer-thick crust. The Sphere X images, combined with the spectrographic leak from Webb, suggest that this might not be theory anymore. We might be looking at one, right now. And if it is an artificial object, then the implications
Yo, that's actually fucked.
are staggering.
See why it wouldn't really make a difference is if it's the data that they're getting and the data that the object is giving off as it travels through space, based on the millions and millions of asteroids and shit that they've probably tracked and comets or whatever. Not obviously like in our solar system, but just like in general. This makes no sense. Like, this is the only logical thing, is there's someone manning it.
Someone or something
He's
sent
got control, bro. It's the
While
only
most
thing that
public
makes
data
sense.
releases from James Webb focus on exoplanets, distant galaxies, and cosmic background radiation, the encrypted internal logs, leaked by anonymous sources
And what's
inside
weird is like they said that it happened in the 70s or the 60s or something, and it acted a little bit differently and it didn't come as close or some shit like that.
NASA reveals something unexpected in the light curves emitted from 3I Atlas. According to this report, what was initially interpreted as random thermal emission began displaying an unmistakable modulation pattern.
It's exactly.
At first glance, it looked like flickering, an optical illusion, perhaps caused by the object's rotation. But upon deeper spectral decomposition, the pulses matched prime number sequences, the kind often proposed by SETI scientists as a universal mathematical language for contact. These weren't natural. They weren't coincidental. They were repeating at precise intervals, mimicking beacon-like transmissions across multiple infrared bands. What truly sent chills down the spines of analysts, however, was the discovery of a silent gap between these bursts of light.
By the way, we're playing Tarkov after this video, y'all. I'm now locked on this. Oh my god.
Almost as if something was listening, waiting for a reply. It was no longer just a matter of observing 3I Atlas. It was as though this object was actively observing us back. NASA's response? Immediate lockdown of all observational data. Observatories were told to cease attempts to track or publicly publish new findings. The story was dead to the media, but for those who had seen the light signature, there was no turning back.
What?
Following the leak of the internal...
What? They said don't... That's actually wild. I was just invited. This object is more wonderful. Just joking. I just wanted to see what some of the comments were going to say.
An
Yo,
unusual uptick in
ours took some
satellite
LSD and y'all gotta wait for it to
redirection
wear
requests
off.
was reported across both NASA and ESA channels. But these weren't standard reorientations for routine calibration. They were reassignments directed from military defense agencies, specifically NORAD and the U.S. Space Force. Within 48 hours of the observation leak, the X-37B, a classified military spaceplane, was launched into low Earth orbit on an unannounced mission. Its payload remains a mystery, but orbital path reconstructions suggest a highly elliptical trajectory with military space reorientations for routine calibration. They were reassignments directed from military defense agencies, specifically NORAD and the U.S. Space Force. Within 48 hours of the observation leak, the X-37B, a classified military spaceplane, was launched into low Earth orbit on an unannounced mission. Its payload remains a mystery, but orbital path reconstructions suggest a highly elliptical trajectory with line-of-sight potential toward 3I Atlas's projected path. Why would the U.S. military deploy its most secretive space platform in response to an anomalous asteroid? What were they preparing to do? Observe it, or intercept it? Behind closed doors, defense briefings began classifying 3I Atlas under a new threat category: Technological Unknowns of Extraterrestrial Origin,
Bro.
TUEOS. These internal memos were never meant to be public, but once exposed,
Why
they
are we
confirmed
attacking
what
the
many
aliens,
suspected.
bro?
This
We
object
shouldn't be
wasn't just
doing
being
that.
treated as a scientific
Of course, it's
anomaly.
you guys,
It was
man.
now
Why,
considered
bro?
a
Why
strategic
stay?
concern,
Stop.
a
Trump.
concern
Nah,
that
bro.
might warrant a
Call it off, bro.
response.
Call your boys off. We don't need to have a galactic
scientists
war
dug
and
deeper
have the
into the
fucking
possibility of
empire
artificiality,
of the
a
fucking
small
galaxies
but
show up
daring
here in
group
the
of
fleet.
astrobiologists proposed an even more unsettling theory. What if 3I Atlas wasn't just a technological probe, but something alive? Not in the sense of traditional biology, but as a hybrid system, part machine, part biological organism, capable of evolution and decision-making on interstellar
Wait,
timescales.
what?
This concept, known as biomechanical synthesis, has been discussed in fringe research
So like a
circles for decades.
transformer, bro.
Organisms that use metal frameworks, radiation-absorbing skins, and
Bro.
AI-like neural networks to survive in the vacuum of space. Evolution not by biology alone, but by intelligence. And if this is what 3I Atlas is, then it wasn't just sent. It may have sent itself. It may be autonomous, capable of adapting its behavior based on environmental feedback, capable of choosing targets, or destinations, or planetary systems to observe, systems like ours. The implications? Terrifying. We are no longer looking at a rock, or a probe, or even a ship. We are looking at something that could learn from us, evolve from us, or worse, assimilate what it observes.
Attack.
In recent months,
Like, imagine if-
theorists and
bruh.
astrophysicists have begun to notice another troubling pattern: timing. The emission pulses, trajectory angles, and orbital alignments of 3I Atlas all point to a chilling possibility. Its presence here may be on schedule. According to a new model developed by independent astronomers, the object's path will bring it into proximity with the asteroid belt in just under 9 months. At that point, it is expected to alter trajectory in a maneuver that would require either immense gravitational interaction or propulsion. Some now speculate that 3I Atlas may be entering a final observational phase, a countdown to something, a rendezvous, a signal dispatch, a transformation. The structure of its repeating signals has even begun to change, suggesting phases. Some believe we are now in phase 3 of a 5-phase sequence, with the final phase coinciding with its alignment between Mars and Earth. What happens then? We don't know. But NASA's
Okay, that
sudden
sounds a
silence,
little-
the military's rapid response, and James Webb's disappearing images all
I don't know
seem to
about that
suggest
part. That sounds a little fucking far-fetched. I think we might be fucking going down the rabbit hole here with that one.
down to something. A rendezvous, a signal dispatch, a transformation. The structure of its repeating signals has even begun to change, suggesting phases. Some believe we are now in phase 3 of a 5-phase sequence, with the final phase coinciding with its alignment between Mars and Earth. What happens then? We don't know. But NASA's sudden silence, the military's rapid response, and James Webb's disappearing images all seem to suggest one thing: they know something is coming. Shortly after James
Well,
Webb
hopefully
locked
whatever's
onto
coming,
3I
hopefully it takes
Atlas
about
for
150
extended
years, so,
observation, something peculiar
yourself
began
and
to
myself
happen.
and anybody watching, we're
Instruments
just all gonna be
across the
dead,
deep
so it's
space
cool.
network started failing.
Y'all can deal with it
At
later
first, it
on,
was
yo.
brushed off as solar interference.
Hopefully
but what
y'all
followed
got-
was unprecedented.
Hopefully y'all got fucking blasters and shit and, stormtrooper outfits, because you're gonna have to fight
Entire
some
data
motherfuckers,
streams
it sounds
from
like here.
long-distance probes like New Horizons, and even
The
legacy
first thing the
systems like
states want to
Voyager
do is
2
fucking
went
attack
silent,
the thing, it
in
sounds
sync.
like.
Radio astronomers noted localized electromagnetic disturbances centered around the Webb observation windows. It was as though something, or someone, was reacting to the telescope's focused gaze. Engineers called it a coincidence. Analysts
Americans
called it
are
a cascade
dumbasses.
failure. But those watching closely
Not wrong.
began to ask a more chilling question. Was 3I Atlas
But let me rephrase. Not all of y'all are dumb. All right. Like there's fucking idiots that live up here too.
So
But
where it was being
seems to be a
watched?
large abundance
And
of
if it
them
was,
down
what
there
did
for
this
some reason.
electromagnetic suppression mean? Was it a form of defense, a method of cloaking itself, or a warning? Because if it had the ability to interrupt communications from the outer solar system, then it might also have the capability to control what we can or cannot see. Traditional celestial bodies follow predictable
Wait,
paths,
what?
elliptical.
So it's
Then
basically,
it might also have the capability to control what we can or cannot see.
bro.
Was it a form of defense, a method of cloaking itself, or a warning?
Yo,
The ability to
it could straight up be a fucking gigantic ass ship, but it's just cloaked as a little cigarette rock. Yo, like,
interrupt communications from the outer solar system, then it might also have the capability to control what we can or cannot see. Traditional
What the
celestial bodies follow
fuck,
predictable
bro? Why did I
paths,
start
elliptical orbits,
watching this?
gravitational assists,
Oh my
or
God.
decaying spirals. But 3i Atlas broke the model. According to leaked tracking data, its trajectory defied expectations with sudden non-ballistic deviations. This wasn't the slow drift of a comet. These were course corrections.
Yeah,
Scientists at
bro.
Caltech
Like,
simulated various gravitational models to explain the changes, but none matched the precision of the object's real path.
I like to follow different, like a bunch of different like Twitter accounts and like I keep up to date with a lot of the stuff that happens in space. I just like to keep up to date with it. It's kind of cool. But when I heard about this, and then they kind of started releasing some of the data on it, and then like you said in the video, they kind of just stopped. Like they kind of stopped doing all that, and then they just moved on to other shit. And I thought that was kind of weird. And the other day I saw this video and I wanted to watch it, but I
Instead,
saved it for
the
stream.
shifts appeared to be executed with intention, like maneuvers. The final nail in the coffin.
When was this posted? Oh, this is posted today. Yo, this is gonna get taken down, bro. This guy's leaking everything. He's letting it all out. Yo, Beyond the Stars, bro, you better watch out, man. The
On July
government's gonna
4th,
get your
a
ass,
sharp
dog. You're
angular
leaking way
deviation
too much.
aligned it with a specific star system, Luyten's star, a red dwarf known to host at least one potentially habitable exoplanet. Coincidence? Not likely. If this object came from Luyten's system, if it knew where it was going, if it planned this route decades in advance, then this wasn't the first time 3i Atlas passed through the solar system, and it won't be the last. After decoding the signal patterns emitted by 3i Atlas, a group of fringe biophysicists made a discovery that was immediately buried by the mainstream scientific community. The frequency ratios within the signal reflected fragments of DNA encoding. But not just any DNA, human-compatible structures, the same helix-turn-helix motifs found in gene regulation systems. In other words, biological logic gates. Could this be coincidence? Mathematical pareidolia? Or could it mean that the signal from 3i Atlas wasn't just a message to us, but a message about us? What if this object knew about life on Earth because it's seen it before? Or, worse, because it helped spark it? The idea sent shockwaves through the astrobiological community. But before a formal paper could be published, every lab involved received a cease and desist from federal agencies. The official reason? National security concern involving foreign satellite spoofing. But behind the curtain, everyone knew this wasn't foreign. This was interstellar.
Bruh, what?
In the final leaked memo tied to the James Webb observation logs, a chilling line was repeated multiple times across encrypted transmissions. Countdown initialized, 283 Earth days remaining. But here's the terrifying part. This wasn't a NASA-generated statement. It was decoded from the waveform structure embedded in the IR pulses emitted by 3i Atlas. In other words, the countdown didn't come from us. It came from them. Researchers scrambled to find what event the countdown might correlate with. Solar maximum? Earth's orbital alignment with 3i Atlas? The object's closest pass to Mars? But none of these dates made perfect sense, until someone overlaid it with historical data from two previous anomalous objects, Oumuamua and Borisov. The pattern was undeniable.
Yeah, these
Every
are like
7
the three,
years, a
right?
new object appears, each with increasingly complex emissions, each closer in trajectory to Earth. Some now believe 3i Atlas is phase 3 in a longer interstellar observation sequence, and this countdown is not about an event on Earth. It's about something arriving here. Among the most controversial elements of the James Webb's leaked image of 3I Atlas wasn't
Wait,
the
what is it?
object
Every 7
itself,
years or
but
70
what was trailing
years? What?
behind it. Analysts initially believed James Webb down is not about an event on Earth. Object appears, each with increasingly complex emissions. Oumuamua and Borisov. The pattern was undeniable. Every 7 years, a new object appears.
Every 7
each with
years.
increasingly complex emissions, each closer in trajectory to Earth. Some now believe 3I
That's
Atlas
really
is
like, if you were to think about that, so every 7 years in like terms of being in space, that's not that long. Like, bro, that's like them sending them here like one after another. Essentially.
Phase 3 in a longer
Like-
interstellar observation sequence. And this countdown is not about an event on Earth. It's about something arriving here. Among the most controversial elements of the James Webb's leaked image of 3I Atlas wasn't the object itself, but what was trailing behind it. Analysts initially believed it was debris, perhaps ice particles or dust. But further enhancement revealed something far more disturbing, a perfectly linear shadow, casting across the infrared field in a way no natural object should. This shadow, strangely unaffected by solar light angles or background radiation, maintained its form regardless of perspective or position. It appeared to follow the object, not from sunlight, but from some internal source, as if the shadow itself was being projected outward. Experts from the European Southern Observatory suggested it may be a gravitational lensing artifact, but whistleblowers from inside the Webb team leaked internal documentation where the object was classified as a self-shading body. The term has never
What?
appeared in scientific literature
What the
before.
fuck?
But one thing was clear. If 3I Atlas is capable of generating its own shadow, independent of starlight, it is manipulating space around it in a way we don't yet understand. Weeks after 3I Atlas crossed behind the sun and out of visual range, Webb scientists were confident it had disappeared. But then, deep within the residual data, buried in noise, astronomers detected a recurring signal at a frequency nearly identical to the hydrogen line, the universal language of physics. The signal repeated every 12 hours and 3 minutes, too consistent to be natural and eerily close to the rotation of Earth's magnetic field. After weeks of cross-referencing with past data, the most chilling revelation surfaced. This exact pattern was detected by Voyager 1 back in 1996 during its journey through the heliopause. At the time,
the fuck?
it was dismissed as static. But now, reanalyzed under new frameworks, it aligns perfectly with the current emissions from 3I Atlas, and the signal is growing stronger, almost like it's responding to us. Or worse, it's homing in. A final data dump from Webb contained the infrared spectrogram of 3I Atlas's core emissions. At first, the image looked chaotic. Randomized heat signatures, scattered bursts of high-frequency radiation, and warped pixels. But a software engineer working on the image processing team had an idea. She converted the data into polar coordinates and overlaid star maps from the Gaia mission. The result? A chilling alignment of bursts that traced a detailed star map, but not of our solar neighborhood. These stars were part of the Triangulum galaxy, 2.73 million light-years away. Even more terrifying was that the final alignment connected back to Earth, forming a perfect loop. Not only was 3I
What
Atlas
the fuck?
possibly from outside the Milky Way, it was mapping its path here across galaxies. This wasn't a lost fragment drifting through the void. This was a calculated arrival. Despite the overwhelming data,
So-
the official narrative
Where is it now? It's just gone? Like, after it went behind the sun, it just disappeared. We just lost all data on this fucking thing. Why do I find that so hard to believe? And is expected to reappear on the other side of the sun by early December. Ground-based telescopes through September, after which it will pass too close to the sun to observe. And reappear on the other side. Huh.
remains, it's a comet. It's debris. Nothing to worry about. But deep within NASA, ESA, and the Webb Consortium, a silent panic brews. Sources within the SETI Institute have hinted at conversations no one is willing to record, discussions of non-human cognition, a theory that 3I Atlas isn't a vessel, or a fragment, or even an object, but a thought, a non-biological intelligence, encoded in structure, movement, radiation, and silence.
What?
It doesn't need propulsion because it manipulates gravitational fields. It doesn't speak because it communicates through patterns and positioning. It doesn't observe through optics. It uses entanglement to perceive systems across time. James Webb may not have discovered an alien ship. It may have discovered an alien mind, and it is staring back. So now we ask ourselves, what exactly did the James Webb Telescope see? Not a comet, not debris, not a random visitor from deep space. It saw something that shouldn't exist, something that shouldn't move, shouldn't emit signals, and definitely shouldn't be staring back. Because if 3I Atlas is truly more than just an object, if it is a signal, a mind, or a cosmic intelligence slowly spiraling toward Earth with intention, then James Webb didn't just capture a photo. It triggered a reaction. It became part of the pattern. It became the observed. And in the deepest silence of space, something responded. A countdown has begun. A map has been drawn. A signal is growing stronger. And NASA, they're not panicking because they don't understand. They're panicking because they finally do. The question is no longer what 3I Atlas is. It's why now? Why Earth? And what happens when the countdown finally hits zero? Because if James Webb was right, and all the data points to that chilling truth, then this object isn't just passing through, it's coming home.
He's coming home. He's coming home. Feed the sheep, believe it. The days of the is coming, hooray. It's just a great big turd, yeah, inward God septic tank. Oh, that's just gross, bro. It is an occupied ship or an advanced probe that is preparing to make contact. I swear, the hollowed out asteroid theory, that one seems plausible to me. I don't know about it being
may not have discovered. If it is a signal, a mind,
yeah, right
or a
here.
cosmic intelligence slowly spiraling toward Earth with intention.
I don't know if I fully believe that. I feel like we need a little bit more data on it. But like, I don't know, at the very beginning here, like it goes into how there's data and why they believe it's this and that, and like the end of this video is kind of like it's good, but it's a little bit like random in a way. But at the very beginning here
Press
is
conference followed.
it is very
Was
spot
3I
on.
Atlas either our understanding, a 1 in 500 chance of occurring naturally.
Yeah, that is crazy too. 1 in 500 chance of it occurring naturally. It's also on other various other channels. Clickbait. It's good clickbait at the moment. Nah, this is a good video, bro. That was a good fucking video. That had me locked, bro.